Hasna. She runs track and field off of Rhode Island. So just tell me a little bit. I know you just finished the season. You're trying to kind of recalibrate a little bit, but how was the season for you? What did you enjoy most about the year?
Um, Not gonna lie, this season was actually the worst season for me. Like out of all seasons that I've had, honestly, I think I was just a little burnt out because this is my fifth year at URI, and usually you do 4 years because of COVID that kind of messed things up. But even though this is my fourth year of competition, it felt like my fifth year of competition. And what's the second part to the question?
And then like just what have you enjoyed most about just running the sport in general?
Is it about the sport in general?
Yeah.
I mean, this sport is like part of like half my life. So without the sport, I don't think I'd be who I am today. Like it's part of my personality, and I don't. It's giving me so much, and it's like I've given so much back to it as well. So it's always gonna be in my life no matter what. If it's not, that'll be a problem.
Right. And then I heard that you're an assistant. You're coaching on a high school level. So what have you enjoyed about that kind of experience and kind of just mentoring the youth that are coming up, trying for different opportunities and experiences?
Well, just like you said, mentoring youth, that's one of my favorite things to do, actually. So I was actually a captain on my team this year. And from doing that, even though, I would say I wasn't the best on the team, but, everybody has something to offer. And I was able to offer, my advice, my mentorship to younger athletes like freshmen and some sophomores. And I didn't know how well the high school girls would be receptive of that. But they love it. Like I see them now as my little sisters, if anything. So like even yesterday they had their state meet and they all called me like, oh my god, can you like just give me a quick pep talk, a quick like hype, give me some confidence so I can do this race. And I don't I've loved every minute of it. Like I've only been with them for 2.5 weeks, I would say 2.5 3 weeks. And they already love me so much. They're like, oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? How should I do this? And they always like look up to me now, but it's like I'm not forcing them to. I just give them what I wish I had when I was younger. Because I feel like with me growing up in track, I had to kind of go through everything myself and figure things out myself.
Right. And then what are some things you're doing outside of the sport just to kind of build your brand and kind of just get ready for the next step in your life?
So I love traveling, that's one thing, but of course that means money, and as a student athlete, it's kind of hard to have a job. So, but that's one thing I do love to do. Like last year, I went to Oregon actually for the World Championships to work it. Just awesome. I also love photography and videography. I make my own hype videos for my track team. So I've done that a little bit. I had to make one more, but I've been procrastinating it. What else? I do my own hair actually.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, I mean I do other people's hair, but I don't like to all the time because it's just tiring.
Yeah.
But I do my own hair or try to. What else? I do cook. I like cooking a lot, but lately I just haven't. Just again, I just been lazy. After my season ended, I'm just let me take a long break from everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite thing to cook?
My chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo?
It sounds very basic, but the way I make it is not basic. I make it from scratch.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you got to tell us. You told me a little bit about a story, right? You were saving an animal. Just I know you said some of your passion is animals too. Tell us about the story and what made you kind of just get into that passion as well.
So I've always loved animals. When I was younger, actually, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I told my mom I want to go to Brown University and become a vet and everything because I live 5 minutes away from Brown University. So that was in the plan, obviously. So, but I've always loved animals. I have 2 dogs right now. I have 2 guinea pigs also. What was it? It was about the day of my last meet 3 weeks ago. My teammates who weren't competing that day, they had called my coach. They're like, "Hey, coach, like we found a baby raccoon. We didn't know what to do. We called campus police, but they said like screw it, basically." Right. And this is literally that raccoon was born. It's like a week old. Like his eyes were not even open, ears were still back. And I've never dealt with a raccoon before. I've helped a baby bird before, but not like a raccoon. So we told them don't touch it with your hands, put gloves on, or use a towel or anything like that. I said when I get there, I'll take it. Because I know we have a wildlife conservatory near the campus, like 10 minutes away. Yeah. So I said next morning I'll bring it there. So that night I was trying to like give the raccoon some water, something so it could like, stay alive. I was hoping it would be fine, but it's a boy. He was fine, and he made it through the night. Dropped him off the next day. Then the Department of Health had to call me and make sure I didn't have rabies. I'm like, no, I'm good and everything. Right. So yeah.
It's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, I love animals and so I'm not gonna let something die. Wow. There's no why would I do that?
Right. Love that. And then tell me about you at NIL. It's your first event or first time being here. And then what are some of your biggest takeaways? I know you sat in some of the sessions. Just what have you liked about the event so far?
So definitely red carpet last night was actually very fun. I really liked that. I should just posted on Instagram about 10 minutes ago. But what else so far? Usually I've been been into NAL for about a year now, but the one thing I really appreciate is all the financial talks. Usually, like I was an undergrad in business, and financial management was not my strong suit, but having now seeing everybody talking about it with Invesco, and then with like the other financial groups here, is more interesting to me now, and I'm more and more I'm like, okay, like I could see myself working with this. So now I'm like listening to them talking about like index funds and everything. And actually I was doing my research on index funds last week. Right. So I was like, I want to like get into that and start investing in as much as possible and whatnot. So but definitely the financial parts of it, because that's my weakness right there.
Yeah. Got you. And then what would you tell people? Sometimes I've talked to a couple athletes today, and they said, I was kind of nervous about coming to the event. I don't know what would be in store. What would you tell them that want to come, but they're still kind of nervous? What would be the biggest thing you tell them, like, hey, what this event is about?
Honestly, I mean, in no sense, kind of everybody's coming here almost with the same mindset. Like some people have more experience in NIL than others, but not all of us like know really what to expect. Like I didn't know what to expect at all. Like I helped at the program before, but I totally forgot what was on the schedule. But it's like I know I have my share of NIL, but I don't like I met so many people already within yesterday and today, and they've told me so much that they've done that I didn't even know existed and whatnot. And there's just so much you can do. If really, it's the main thing you can do is network. That's the biggest thing you can do. I've already talked to, say, a director at LSU. I've talked to the guy who was doing iHeartRadio interviews, all that. Like I have connections now, and which honestly will help me with my career in my NIL. Oh my god! But yeah, I would say it can be nerve wracking to meet new people, but it's totally worth it. It's so worth it. But even like trying to make when I came yesterday, I said I'm gonna make at least one friend. First person I see will be my friend, and that's exactly what I did. I got on the shuttle from the airport, met the first girl with her the whole day yesterday, and then met my roommate. We're like two pieces in a pod, so it's like I'm just with them all the time, and yeah.
And then last question, what's in store for you? What's your future? What do you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years? What are some things you want to kind of, work on and just kind of accomplish in the next few years?
So I want to go to grad school for sport management. My dream school is UT Austin, so I'm hoping for that. But I'm probably gonna go there within a year or two, just because I need a mental break from academics. Yeah. Big time. I've been in Europe for 5 years. I need some time off. But yeah, I did my undergrad, just did my grad certificate, and I have another certificate from NYU right now. And yeah, right now I'm just looking for a job in sports to get more experience. I work at Gillette right now with the Patriots, but I work like in ticketing. So that's like part-time. I need a full-time, more concrete type of job just for myself, so I can put in my application and, save some money also.
Gotcha. Well, guys, this is Hasna. How can we get in touch with you on social media? Just keep up with what you're doing, going forward.
Instagram is my name, Hasna.Badji. Same thing for, like TikTok, Badji.
Guys, you can follow her there. Thank you again for sitting down during this interview. Good luck the rest of the way.